What's up, y'all? I'm Sarah. This is Casey.
Hi,
We
friends.
are gonna learn how to be a witch.
Yes, it's gonna be fun. It's interesting, that's for sure.
Interesting is definitely
Yeah.
the term that I would use. I basically what happened was I woke up one morning and jokingly said to my husband, "I just want to be a witch," and it was because I wanted to play a joke on his friend.
Well,
But I sort of didn't realize that I wasn't kidding.
yeah, it wasn't a joke, y'all. It wasn't a joke. So,
So, uh, this one sort of took that information and ran with it.
well, I like this kind of stuff, and I'm not opposed to being a witch. It makes me a little nervous, and I'm hesitant to do certain things because I don't want to open certain doors, but I'm pretty much down for the rest of it. Like, I'm excited.
I mean, there's some stuff that like that I can get behind, like cleansing things and protection, um, and like just random pay it forward things. You know what I mean? Like casting a spell on somebody to have a good day.
That's fair.
That's the stuff that I want out of this. So, and maybe sometimes hoping somebody steps on a Lego.
You know,
But nothing bigger than that. I don't want to
no,
like
not.
change things. I don't want to do
I don't want to cause
things.
harm. I don't want to cause
I don't want to ever cause harm. So we're gonna figure out what kind of witch that makes us and do that.
harm. Learn from all of these different authors.
So we're gonna take baby steps, and we're gonna kind of pick a thing a week. So we're gonna pick like a spell or a thing or something that we learned, and we're gonna talk about it and how ridiculous it might be, or how useful.
And this one I think is gonna be useful. I feel like staging a house and cleansing negative energies should. I've never done it, but should happen on a regular basis.
I can agree with that. I don't see the harm in it. Maybe my house is gonna smell like burnt sage for a while, which I don't really know what that smells like. So
I agree. And we got a peppery one, so it'll be a different type of smell.
Yeah, I don't know what to expect out of that. You know what? Okay, so a lot of this stuff tells you that it calls to you, or if you pick it, it's because you needed it. Listen, I don't even know what I need. How does somebody else know what I need?
No, but we stood there and I told her the same thing. And we stood there for another 5 minutes and she's like, I think I want that one.
I played Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo with the little cards that tell you what it does. It didn't call to me, and that's the thing. And this is your thing, and you fully believe that things call to you and that you are drawn to things. I am not. I am desperately trying to find the logic. Tell me why I need this.
Maybe maybe the universe doesn't have that kind of a voice. You know,
Maybe I don't have the right kind of ears.
maybe your ears are not open.
Well, I'm trying to make my mind open. So here's what we're gonna do.
She finished her book, just so y'all know.
We're gonna stage my house today.
Yes.
Um, and we're gonna see how that goes. I don't know how I feel about this. I have never done something like this before in my life. I don't think that I am the responsible party that should, but I live here.
She needs to be. It needs to be her.
So it's got to be me. So I'm guessing that the twine that is wrapped around this is not gonna just like burn all the way down and come and burn my fingers.
I think that's a true statement. I don't think we untwine it.
I never, in any of the instructions, was I ever told to undo it.
Okay.
And this is not like a joint where you can very obviously tell which end to light it at. So.
Light from that side, it's smaller.
Okay. So we're gonna.
Children outside that window.
I know. We're gonna light.
Wait, we have to open windows. You can light. I'm gonna open the window.
Okay. This makes me a little nervous. Because again, not like lighting a joint. Much, much bigger than that.
You have to set an intention. Remember?
My intention is to remove bad things.
Energies, negative spirits, negative.
So I'm also supposed to walk through my house with this.
Mm-hmm. Which we're gonna pause when we do that.
Not chant. Say a prayer, probably repeatedly. And bad things leave and good things come, and that's the end of that. So we're gonna get into that and see where it takes us.
Wish us luck.
Okay.
Well, we did it.
We did it.
We did.
Now the project is putting it out.
Well, yeah, because we didn't know that we needed sand before this happened, so
we obviously don't have any idea what we're doing.
We live in
Arizona. I don't have sand, but I have soil.
Yep, which works.
Because I have a tree.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're putting out.
We might struggle with relighting it. You'll have to.
Struggling with breathing at the moment. Goodness gracious. I must have had some evil living in me.
I'm wondering.
For the record, having dogs in the house, not the most conducive environment to staging a house.
Fine. 2 of them were fine. The other one, though.
Goodness gracious.
Didn't want to talk, I swear. Anyways.
So, my house stinks.
Mm-hmm.
Not the most pleasant experience. No idea if I'm doing it wrong. There's not very clear instructions. If there's one complaint that I have is that with every last one of these things that I've read, every last one of these spells and things that they're doing or we're doing, there's not very clear instructions. I got questions. I got all the questions.
Well, that's why there's you can read my book. My book has a lot more answers. It's big. Because I swear there's got to be, I mean, okay, so I did the historical part, and from what I understand, they took a lot of the beliefs from like all of the different places, like the Roman gods and the Celtic gods, and like they kind of not did a mashup, but like you have a plethora of people to choose from. And basically, you just kind of follow whichever one you want to.
That's the thing about this is there's
just do what you want to. Why is that a struggle for you?
Because why is it a thing? If it's just do what you want to, what we already do that. By nature, people do what we want to. That's
well, I know that, but
I'm
talking about like when you pray or when you ask for guidance or when you are in some kind of hell that you're going through. Who do you talk to? That's not alive. That's not of this worldly earth. And that's where your belief comes in. And if, like me, you've chosen not to believe in one secular God that all of society says this is who we believe in, I don't want to. I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to follow your rules. Your rules suck. They do. When your whole world gets ripped apart and there is no answer and you're not going to get the person back that was ripped from you, that one God is not good enough anymore.
Witchcraft isn't going to bring him back either. Well,
no.
I mean,
not mine. I don't want to play that witchcraft.
Nope.
No, and I agree with that, but reminding myself that I'm a part of a living and breathing, I am just this small little piece. And everything is energy, and everything, my day-to-day and what I do kind of like impacts others that I don't necessarily see. And reminding, I think that's a part of witchcraft, and that's the part that isn't necessarily put into religion. So for me, that's why this works, because I don't have to believe in your whole
no, but you have to believe in this.
But I have to believe in something, and I have to believe in something. Me as me, doesn't want when I die that to be the end of everything, the end all be all.
But whether or not you believe if you choose to believe that you would reincarnate, if you choose to believe that you go to heaven or hell, if you choose to believe that you, whatever, whatever you choose to believe doesn't make it true. That doesn't mean that you go to those places.
No, but
nobody knows what the real truth is.
I think it makes my life a little easier in the sense that there's a right and a wrong way to be.
I mean, I think most, if not all, religions have that as part of the middle of their structure is like the right and wrong way and to be a good person, and like everybody tries to teach to be a good person, like to be a decent human being.
And a lot of the book that I'm reading or started reading was about how, yes, the religions do that too, but they also ex-nay others. If you're not my religion, then your belief is wrong. And witches and Wiccans don't have that same structural. Well, if you don't believe in the same God that I'm believing in today, or that I'm praying to today,
that's right. I don't necessarily subscribe to anything at the moment. I guess I grew up religious, and we went to church, and
yeah, like fairly religious.
Yeah, well, yeah. When I was in grade school, I went to.
Like fairly religious. It wasn't like super, but it was pretty.
I did go to a private school, and I actually started high school in a private school until we moved, and my neighbor went to the public school that was closer and free. And I was like, hey, can I go there instead? And going to church was part of it, and it didn't start with my parents. My parents had the same upbringing. They all went to church. We were all raised Lutheran. And I've gone back and forth, and I get angry at God sometimes, but I've up until probably into my adulthood, like I recognized that there were different religions, but I was never interested in them. And I wasn't like, I don't know, I guess I wasn't completely sold on even my own religion.
Okay.
Because I have questions.
She's like, I want to talk to somebody.
I got questions.
Give me the boss.
So, and I guess that's a me problem because I have the same problem here. There's not one single religion that I've like even looked into or heard something about that I didn't have fucking questions. I got all the questions. But I do think that there are bits and pieces of things from all of them that I believe. And not necessarily believe in, but like, yeah, I'll buy that.
I can see it. And that's what started me on this journey. Was that whole, well, maybe Buddhas have it right, or maybe somebody else knows a little bit more.
And maybe this is completely wrong. Maybe I got it all the way wrong. But there's one thing I've grown to be okay with, it's being fucking wrong.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm gonna do all of this wrong. And that's the other thing, is that this thing that we're doing here, all of this witchcraft and teach me how to be a witch and all these things, this is meant to give us something to do and something to laugh at, because I am not trying actively I'm not taking classes. Apparently there are classes that you can be like a certified witch. I'm not doing any of that. I'm taking the information. Oh, listen, one of the books that I bought, we're doing this a couple of ways because I got questions. I need all of everybody's opinion, because there's not a person you can go to. You cannot call customer service on religion. So, and this, I don't consider this to be a religion, but some of the way that it's being explained is similar to the religion that I grew up with. Right. So that's what I'm familiar with. That's the only thing I have to compare it to. So some of it's kind of similar to the idea, and the lady's book that I read,
that she finished, by the way.
You can still believe in God and do this too.
Oh. Mine didn't.
That your higher being that you're talking to can be God. So there's not really a separation here. I'm not changing religions. I'm not doing anything crazy with my life, and my day-to-day is still the same. But I guess I'm trying to be more open-minded, and if there is an effective way to manipulate energy to do certain things, why the hell not? However, while we're trying these things, I'm going to poke holes in it. And that's why I say I'm not super serious about this. There are things that I'm going to take away from it, and I'm going to be like, that's really great information to have. Like saging the house, probably not a bad idea.
No,
not a bad idea.
I don't think
even
so
if it does nothing, it'll just make my house stink for a little while, and then we're good.
I believe in energy, in crystal energies, so she probably doesn't so much, but I'm working on it.
To me, it's polished rocks. And I have a rock tumbler in the closet that I can make you all kinds of crystals. And if I tell you it's a crystal, you will believe me.
I will.
But they're polished rocks. So I'm not, there are just some things that I'm like, that is not a crystal, my friend.
It is. It is. It's all, see? Bringing negative energies back in the house, don't take it.
So there are just some things that I am just not going to buy into.
But there's also some things that we're not going to do. Like, we're not going to, I don't want to communicate with spirits.
No.
Ouija boards. I don't want to do any of that type of stuff. I have no interest in learning negative anything. I just don't want that in my space. And that's what
Agreed.
I've already come to, like I've already believed in. I've already come to the knowledge that I can create my own space, and I am going to make sure that it's positive, whatever, even if it's a negative that's happening to me. I have to find the positive outlook on it. It's kind of always how I've been.
Okay, so let's back up. I bought a book on Amazon on how to be a witch. It was the first purchase I made in this venture when I decided that I wasn't joking. I bought this book on Amazon, and it's a beginner's, like, witches for dummies kind of book, but it like covers a lot of ground in a very concise book.
I bought a big book that I have not gotten through. She finished her book.
It's like 127 pages.
I've read 127 pages, but I am very, like, that far through that big of a book. And then I had bought my daughter a book about herbs, flowers, and other things before. So we kind of have all of these different witchy books from all of these different witchy authors.
And that's what I wanted. I wanted to know, because there's not one person in charge that I can take all my questions to. So I have to get all of this information from all kinds of places to see, like, is it really that? Because what was that one we did? We did an egg cleanse.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. We did that last week. How did you feel after that this week? Normal week? Payroll week?
It was billing week.
Easier? Less stressful?
No.
Week? Oh, okay.
Not at all.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's like a going forward, or like cleansing of what's already happened and like starting over. I don't have a clue. But whatever, I'm not inclined to believe that if it was supposed to have been like a going forward, like helping myself to have a better week, that's not what happened. That's not even close.
We didn't put that intention into the eggs, though, either.
I'm still trying to figure out exactly what intention means. Because
what do you want out of
it? I get that. But, like, I don't know. I have a lot of questions.
So she finished her book and she still has questions, is what we're getting at here.
I will always have questions. When you tell me okay, so the thing said, we're doing this egg cleanse, and it says that you have to cleanse the egg first before the egg can cleanse you.
Right.
And okay, so add salt to the. Well, do you want iodized salt? Do you want sea salt? Do you want pink salt? Do you want garlic salt?
The only reason this bitch has this much salt is because her husband's a chef.
But I got all the salts. What kind of salt do you want?
Let's salt. Salt.
And then it says spoonfuls. What kind of
many?
spoon? Like
Teaspoon?
a teaspoon? A
Tablespoon?
tablespoon?
Tisp.
A tisp? An actual teaspoon is what we use. So it was like this little heart.
It was
super cute. But I don't know what unit of measurement to use for that particular spoon. It's so 2 spoonfuls. Okay, 2 little hearts full. That's what it is. And so we cleanse our little egg, and then we're supposed to put the egg around our face. You want me to wave the egg around my head and light a candle.
Don't break it.
And light a candle.
It had to be. Well, it didn't have to be done in the dark.
It recommended that you turn the
maximum effort.
So we turn the lights off. I've got a candle lit in the living room. It's like a smelly candle that I got from the grocery store, but it's lit. So let's go get that candle. Maybe we used the wrong candle. Maybe that's why my week was.
Well, maybe we use these candles next billing week, and we do it after billing week to cleanse yourself, and you have to put that into the intentions.
Well,
of
it is
egg.
post billing week, so now that's what we're with. That's what we've just done with
the sage.
Yeah.
It was cleansed. Yes, and we did because we did cleanse you. So, yeah.
Okay. So now I've been cleansed. And it's stuff like this. Like I just
It sounds funny. I'm not saying it doesn't sound funny.
It certainly does.
But
you know what? If it's gonna work, we'll just give me the eggs. We'll just
But you have to believe
egg it all
gonna
up.
Work.
We'll egg it up.
But you have to believe it's gonna work.
But that's the problem that I have with a lot of things.
You would not be able to fly if Tinkerbell showed up and gave you.
I got questions.
Gave you pixie dust and said
you just for some of this you just like you just have to believe in magic, and it's I'm willing to believe in magic, but I got questions.
I'm gonna give you my book, and maybe it will answer some of your questions, because it talks about. So, hold mine out really quick. I have gone through the roots of witchcraft and Wicca, so it gives you a little bit of
and I'm not trying to. Wicca is a religion, and I'm not trying to study Wicca,
but it doesn't.
Or there's something else too. There's another Wicca and something else. And I'm not trying to study those specifically. I think it's called a secular witch is what I'm trying to be. Yes.
I like the green.
It's a secular witch. Doesn't necessarily fall under a specific category.
Okay.
Just somebody that does these things. It sages their house and wears crystals and casts spells sometimes, and like that's
and
what I
believes in energies and
yes,
okay, because that's where like I want to go with it. Like,
because I don't want to. I'm not trying to change religions. I'm not trying to be that involved in this. I just, I want to see if I light the right candle and I say the right thing, can I have the right impact? And that's what that's what I'm doing this for. That's what I want to know. Is that really a thing? Is it kind of like believing in God, where you just believe and when the good thing happens that you've been asking for, hoping for, praying for, when it happens, is it because God did it? Is it because you made a spell? Is it because you manifested it? Is it because it just freaking happened that way?
Fate said so. Fate was like, here you go, bitch.
So, it's not that I don't believe in it. It's not that I think it's just a bunch of hocus pocus, which happens to be one of my favorite movies. So I'm not opposed to the idea. I just have questions. And, I just want to find, like,
my book.
Like the pendulum thing, right? That's what we're gonna try that next week. I think we're gonna try to do that.
It'll be fun.
I think I do have to find something different. I have to get a pendulum.
Our crystals that we have.
But I do, I'm interested in finding that out because that part has a physical reason why it works or why it should work.
Okay.
Right? Because you use, we'll go into more detail, but you use your non-dominant hand, so it's basically your subconscious self is answering you. You're not necessarily answering, or somebody else is not answering you. But there was a physical explanation as to why the pendulum moves in the way that it does. And that's what interested me about it. And the sage thing, that's kind of an overlap between a lot of things, because a lot of Native Americans use sage, and other religions use sage too. So it's not something specific to witchcraft, which is what interested me about it. This is why I know that it's not a bad idea. I know that it's not going to produce something bad in the space. So that's perfect. That's perfect for our first witchy thing that we did.
It's kind of an easy into, like,
it's like getting your toes wet, right? Because it's not gonna, there's no downside to
sage their homes when they move into a new home. You usually would sage
I did read that when I was looking it up to try and answer some of my questions, because none of them really do. There's not like a step-by-step. And like, so even if it is a step by step, because I did find some that were like, okay, do this and then do this and then do this, which is why we need to light it with the candle, because and
open the window.
That was one of the steps. But I never did find anything that said to open a window.
You have to release the negative energy.
So somebody somewhere along the way said that you need to open the window, but I didn't read it in any of the things that I read. So I missed that class apparently. But that's what I'm saying. Like, in these, there's not like a specific, and I get that it's like, do you? And that's like most of what was said in this book is like, oh, you do it your way, whatever you want. You can make your own or you can buy it. Okay.
And you struggle with that a lot.
And you know what? Another one of the things, tell me, what do you want me to do? Give me a specific set of instructions, and that way and for some of this, there's logic along the way, right? So like, if we open a window, tell me why we open the window so that I understand. Do you crack the window? Do you open the window all the way? Does it matter if there's a screen? I have a security door on my door. So do I open the big door and the security door? The security door's got holes in it, so
dog runs out.
Energies could leave, but a dog will also leave if I open that door. If I open the window, somebody could get in the window because there are no screens on them. But there's curtains in front of them. Are the energies going to be able to go through the little holes in the fabric of the curtains? Do I have to open the curtains too and let bugs and everybody else into the house? Like, nobody answers these questions. Nobody says open the window X amount of space, open the curtains, or don't open the curtains, or it doesn't matter if you have a security door. I need that kind of instruction for these spells. And a lot of them are just like, well, whatever you have is good. Well, whatever I have, isn't there? What? What does that even mean? Whatever I have. Okay. I have questions. That's what I have.
Well, I think they mean that you don't have to necessarily go out and buy something. If you have something similar of sorts lying around, then use that. Like the fact that we don't have sand, we use dirt. Okay. I didn't know that we needed sand.
See?
So, but again, never staged a house before.
And it's just weird stuff, like that little mini book of spells that came with the thing.
I want to read your book really quick, so it'll take me
in there. It tells you to light this, and I don't remember what kind of spell it is or what it's for, but she's telling you got to light your candle and sit cross-legged in front of your candle. If you're cold, bring a sweater or a blanket.
Okay, what's your question?
That's it. Why the fuck is that in the spell? If you're cold, bring it. Isn't that kind of common sense? Like, control your own body temperature? Because nobody's going to do that for you.
I don't know.
Cast a spell prior to this spell for maintaining body temperature. Or bring a blanket.
I mean, maybe some of these spells, like some of the spells that we haven't gotten into, maybe you're supposed to be naked. Maybe it works better if you're out in the forest and it's Okay, I
There is
even
zero
read that.
chance.
Not naked specifically, but I read that even some of the spells work better if you're in the forest and it's a full moon and you're with your
Sure,
coven
there's
and
different. She goes over in this book. She goes over moon phases and things, and certain spells work better under certain moon conditions.
Maybe
Naked, there is zero chance. No chance.
I don't know.
I just won't use that spell. We'll find a different spell. I'll write my own spell, which you can do.
I didn't know that. Well, I guess that would make sense. I haven't gotten there. My book is still in the introduction.
But you wouldn't think that you'd be able to make up your own spell. How the fuck do you think we got the spells to begin with? Somebody made it up.
Well, I know, but I thought there was a book that we'd have to reference.
I mean, there are probably certain practices that you have to know how to do before
I just assumed there was
writing your own spell. But where are the rules in magic?
I think my book covered that.
Where the rules are?
Yes.
Huh.
Hold on.
My book said there are no rules.
My book did not say there are no rules. It did say, it talks about the different types of crafts. But then it says, everything is sacred. We must use everything is sacred. We must use our skills wisely and avoid harming ourselves or others. So they specifically talk about the belief is not structured in negativity. You're not supposed to be, like, there's a rule that you should be pulling and being positive within this.
She does go over that too.
I think there's rules. I just think they're very broad rules. I don't think you like their rules. Again.
They're more like suggestions.
Well, so's a red light.
That's not true.
Well, if you get away with it, so's a red light.
That's, okay, but that can be said for anything.
Well, so?
My zodiac sign is right above my head.
I love that.
That's my problem with this.
It literally is.
Yes. It's
right there.
Right there. It's pointing at my head. It's like, it's all suggestions. Like, there's no...
Because it's all suggestive. Nature and energies are all...
But if I'm gonna manifest the right thing, I want there to be like a way that it's gonna work.
Guaranteed?
I mean, nothing's guaranteed ever.
Okay.
But more guaranteed than you just use what you have. If you don't have sage, use fucking, I don't know, the end of a rose stem. Like, what?
Is that what it said?
No.
Oh.
I made that up.
Okay.
But there is something, like, if you don't have basil, you can use blah, blah, blah.
But I'm sure
this
that
isn't a recipe for dinner. This is a spell.
If we use that book and then we reference this book, I'm sure that this specific herb that it told you to use instead has some sort of properties to it.
But there's a reason that we used the first one in the first place.
Well,
and is my outcome going to be exactly the same in what I need it to be by using something else? Nobody fucking knows. Because nobody also knows if it's actually going to work or if really it was just supposed to be that way in the first place. And is this spell completely useless because it was going to end up one way or the other? One way or the other.
She's going to struggle.
We're all going to struggle.
Oh, you guys.
But I guess that's what we're going to find out. She's going to try and make a believer out of me. I'm willing to believe. I just need proof. And answers. I need fucking answers.
We have authors. I got 2 teachers in this one. You really just... Here. I'll take this one. We'll be back next week.